what's up? It's Anisha Simone, aka Pink Wings, and I'm doing another video, a separate video, for how do you know you're healing. So I know a lot of people all the time always talk about shadow work and things like that, and they always feel like they're getting nowhere. When actually, like some people don't even realize how far they've actually come. So I just wanted to do list a couple things of how do you know that you're actually healing. The first one is you no longer have thoughts of revenge or feel anger towards someone or a situation that really hurt you. You're kind of like, I feel like most of the time we can never forget. We can never forget what happened. Only thing we can do is move past it. But how do you know you're moving past it? It's like you're not angry, especially when you think about it, you're not angry and you don't want a revenge. You just don't want something to keep happening to, you don't want something bad to happen to that person. Granted, it's like, people do, karma is a very real thing. You treat people bad, it will come back on you. But most of the time when you're healing, you know that God, you put your trust and your faith in God, and you know that God's going to take care of it. And karma's going to, justice will be served to that person when the time is right. So pretty much you just, you're kind of moving past it and you don't feel anger. The next thing is like you stand up for yourself and you engage in healthy habits more consistently. Yeah, that's true. When it comes to like healing, you want to, especially if you've been in like a toxic relationship and you're finally like, you know what, I can't do this no more, I'm walking away and stuff like that. That is definitely you standing up for yourself. That's also how you know you're healing, because you realize like you've achieved a certain level of growth to where, sometimes we just kind of outgrow people. And how you know that you're doing that is like you don't want to be around certain people anymore, and you just feel like you just don't want to be around people no more. Also, like you ain't like I said this on the second part, I said engaging in healthy habits more consistently, like being around toxic people, being in toxic relationships and toxic environments like jobs and stuff like that. You kind of like telling people or telling a job that you want to leave because it's toxic, or telling a partner that you want to be there because the relationship isn't healthy, is you standing up for yourself. So that is also how you know you're healing, like you're growing, you're achieving growth, and you just, some people don't even know they're like why they're in situations and they just don't feel like being there anymore. It's because you're growing spiritually, you've outgrown the situation, you're learning new things. So that is another way. Another way you know how you're healing is you allow your feelings to show instead of avoiding them. This one's for me, okay? Because I used to always deny. Oh, I'm not really in love with that person. Oh, I'm not really angry. It's whatever. It doesn't bother me. This is the worst thing you can do. If someone's pissing you off and you keep avoiding it, and they keep poking you, eventually you're gonna snap. So it's very important to recognize what you're feeling in that moment. And also like recognize your triggers. Try to find out what is the root of, why you're feeling mad, sad, depressed, or whatever. It's because it's always rooted somewhere else. Try to figure out why it's triggering you. Yeah, so that's all I have for that one. Another way you know how you're healing is you talk about the situation and it no longer bothers you. That is another one for me, because honestly, like I would be like, I'm over it. Like I said, I would avoid my emotions. I'd be like, oh, I'm over it. And then like I would see a certain person and I'd just be like, oh, I remember what that person did. I start getting mad again. And normally if I'm getting mad again, it's because there's no closure in this situation. There was no type of resolution to the situation. But, sometimes if someone doesn't apologize for doing something, you have to realize that you need to move past it without expecting a certain outcome. Like you can't always control things. You have to realize that we might not always get that apology, and you have to be good with that. You have to move past it and just realize that's a part of life. And it sucks, but you never know, that person might come back years later because whatever they did to you happens to them, and then they realize, oh, you're like, oh shit, I went through that because I did that to so and so, or I realized how fucked up that was. So it's just like talking about a situation and it no longer bothers you. Yeah, that's definitely hard for me sometimes. But you just, like I have to say, you have to recognize what you feel in that moment and just kind of move past it, and figure out your trigger and why you're feeling. Just figure out why you're feeling that way. When you think about pain, you're grateful for how far you've come. This is very important. Is to realize, like, when we go through things, like I always say, it's happening for you, not to you. You have to realize that once you move past it, like, hey, you know, if I wouldn't have went through that, I wouldn't have been able to help this person or teach these people, especially if you're trying to be a spiritual teacher or just some sort of teacher in general, or just, you know, a therapist or somebody that just gives advice to people. You can't just give people advice if you haven't gone through what they've gone through. So sometimes you going through certain pains, you're grateful for it. Or like even in a whole different situation, sometimes the greatest music that we hear nowadays comes from pain, and you're like, sometimes like artists, you know, they write songs about what they went through with heartbreak, and they, you know, it ends up #1, and it's like, if that person would have never broke my heart, I would have never, you know, achieved a certain amount of success. I wouldn't have been able to tap into my creativity and do this wonderful painting or help all these people or write this song or just anything, you know. That's how I remember and bring myself down and realize, you know, when I'm questioning why did I go through this, I realize, like, hey, I need to be grateful, because if it wasn't for me being going through a certain situation, I wouldn't have been able to help people. So that's all I have for that one. The last one is practice forgiveness and share your story with other people, like I'm doing now. In all my videos, you're going to see me tell a story or relate it to you somehow. And if I'm doing that, it's because I actually went through that situation, you know. I would never give someone advice, like good, solid advice on a situation, if I have not gone through it. But chances are I've gone through enough to where I can help people with almost every situation. So, yeah, so just make sure you're practicing forgiveness. Forgiveness is important, because not having forgiveness and holding resentment blocks your heart chakra. And why that is important, because you're blocking your heart chakra, you're not able to attract certain things in your life. You're not able to attract abundance and blessings, and your blessings could be waiting there for you, but that energy is not able to come towards you because you're so damn angry. You're holding so much resentment, which is like you have to give yourself time. I was just telling someone today, like, you have to give yourself time to heal, and heal in your own way. You can't just force it on yourself. You cannot fake energy. You can't say I'm healed and then, you know, expect certain things to come towards you. You can't fake energy. The universe feels it. Like, you have to just, you know, heal in your own time. Forgive others, and, you know, help someone who's gone through the same situation as you, and like move on from it. And just, you know, that's how you take that pain. That's what I call transmuting energy. You're taking something negative and turning it into something positive. And you're doing that when you're doing that all the time when you're sad and you start drawing, or when you write a song or any type of thing and you turn it into some type of creative endeavor or outlet. You're transmuting energy. That's what is it called? Alchemy. It's alchemy. So just make sure, you know, you're practicing forgiveness, because there is a huge benefit in that. And that's all I really have for you guys today. I hope this helps at least one person. If you have anything you'd like to add, please comment on my video. Oh yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my video. Subscribe to my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook. I have membership pages on my Facebook. And yeah, like I said, I hope this helps somebody. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. Love and light and many blessings to you and your family. And I love you guys all. And I hope you have a nice day.